Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw.
Oh, Inward Focus. Creative is often painful by Roman Olinchuk.
Yeah.
What I really enjoy about your okay, so you already said that you're sort of really focusing more closely with Lightroom, and so I can see that you obviously have a very clear sense of light, and so in this photo is it's kind of bonkers. Okay, so the background is like the exposed root. I don't know the name of that species of tree, but it's like this tree that's kind of taken over what could be a wall or a boulder, and that's like the background. It's dark and it's kind of got this grayish green black texture, and in front of it is you, kind of looking. In this photo, you seem to have a mustache, but your head's slightly tilted. And what really makes the image is this kind of rendering of three butterflies that are kind of purple, violet, light. But there's also this geometric kind of almost like hand drawn two blocks with triangles, whatever, and they seem to be cutting into your face, so we don't see your eyes, but it's like the scribble, and then underneath that is black, like black makeup or whatever, that it's like almost like blood just pouring out of your eyes, but you don't see your eyes. So it's a very, yeah, very strong image. Definitely want everybody to go on the website and check it out because it's really fantastic.
Thank you.
Where is this coming from, and what would you like to say about it?
Well, this is one of the last images from this project that I did.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to tell, with this image, I wanted to tell people that I do, coming from my own experience, and just like noticing how much people spend time inside of their heads
Mhm.
rather than being in a moment, like enjoying the present moment. And I think the more you're focused on your, let's say, inner world, the more time you spend in your head, the more painful it becomes. Like you're too focused on some problems, on overthinking things, like, past and future, this and that, that like everything that is happening at the moment around you is just kind of like slipping through your fingers, basically.
Right.
And it's kind of an image, this within image, I wanted to remind people like, hey, stop and breathe and be present.
Mm-hmm.
Go for a walk, talk to your friends, like put the phone away, do something that can make you happy at that moment.
Mhm.
Maybe go for a swim, whatever there is, but just try to be present. One of the reasons why I wanted to do that, because when I traveled to visit my family, my brother lives in New York, and I had a chance to travel this January, and my mom, she got visa, so she traveled as well from Ukraine, and it was a big reunion for all of us. Since my brother left, my mom was not able to see him. He's trying to get the green card and all of that, and it's a long process. So overall, it's been like 7 years since we all seen each other all together.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a big reunion for us, and that was a big change. I noticed, like, especially talking about my brother and his wife as well. I know that we're all caught up in our problems, right? When our daily life, but when I was there, I noticed how much he was not present when I was with him. I was like, hey, like Andriy, like that's my brother's name.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, can you just enjoy what we have right now? It just seems like he was with me, but you can tell that he was, in his mind, he was somewhere else. He was thinking like about some things he was dealing with, I don't know, some problems,
Mhm.
And I was like, dude, I'm not here for a long time. I haven't seen you for so long. So let's just try to enjoy what we have and enjoy each other's presence. And because I'm not going to be here for too long, I'm going to go back to Hong Kong and we're going to miss each other again, right?
Yeah.
So that was another reason why I decided to make this image as well, because it was important for me to kind of like, tell people, deliver this message to people, let's
Right.
say.
Yeah, it's like, well, I think you've also got like the different layers, right? So when I hear what you're saying and I'm looking at this image, right? So there's the layers, for example, in the back of this tree that's wrapped around, that's taking over either a building or a rock. It's hard to know what it is, but you can see the texture of the tree. It's kind of organic and fluid. You don't see any leaves. All you see is the exposed. I don't remember the name of the tree, but it's like trunk slash root, and then in front of that is you with this neutral kind of expression. But again, you can't see your eyes because you have this like drawn over scribble. It almost looks like you're wearing a blindfold, and it's like your eyes are bleeding this black ink, and yet there's this geometric side that's kind of extended over your head and a bit over your face and your head. So that kind of, it's like this imposition of order, or of like, it's like a mathematical conceptual sort of frame, and out of it are these three very light pastel, almost pastel colored butterflies. So when you were in New York, was it just your mom, your brother, and you, or were there more people?
Well, it was also my brother's family, his wife and his child.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was not able to leave the country because he's 59. If you're below 60, then you're eligible to go to war, basically.
Right, right.
So
Okay.
my dad had to stay.
Sure, and it's a very, you mean, like, for somebody who's not in your shoes and hasn't lived your experience, So on the one hand, it's funny because the words coming from you to explain this image are quite uplifting, which is all about be present and be in the world, and yet the image itself and then the backstory of you and your family is dark and it's heavy and it's almost. What is your relationship to the idea of hope for the future?
God damn, this question. Can you repeat the question again so I can like focus on
Sure.
it?
Yeah, like in terms of, okay, so on the one hand, the impulse, which is very about almost optimism, about getting out of your head and being in the world. So
Yeah.
that's one side, and yet the actual image itself is almost dark. It's almost pessimistic. Well, not really pessimistic. So my question is, what is your relationship to the idea of hope for the future?
Hmm. You mean how do I see like the exit from this inward focus situation?
Well, if creativity is painful, often is often painful, and yet it's this outlet for you to express yourself and to make sense of your experience and your reality. So how do you feel about hope for what's coming up ahead? Are you somebody who's hiding from the future? Are you somebody who's facing the future? Are you in your head? Are you in your body? Or are you outside? Like, how does this manifest?
Well, I'm all over the place.
We all are, yeah.
I think the creative process can be painful, like I said, and people who are doing, let's say, less creative work often think that, oh, like creative people is just like it's just so fun always, and they just get their ideas and from this infinite resource from space, and it's just like so great to do creative work, like it's just so fun, which it's also true. It's a partly true, yes.
Hmm.
Yes, it is a fun process. I do enjoy it, but at the same time sometimes you have to go through some dark feelings, dark emotions, and the process can be very very intricate, I would say. Like it's a lot of people don't see what's happening behind the scene. They just see the finished product and they think, well, that's nice, and but they don't know how people who create this might feel at that moment. So
Hmm.
I think, yeah, being a creative person, I know that it resonates with many people. Like this is just a call, like it's a creative impulse, and like I know you understand that, right?
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, but it's not always that like pleasure that people imagine. But I think in the end, that's just another thing. It's still kind of, it has this healing power to it. Even when you finish it, It's kind of feels like a closure when you put it out there, when you manifested all your feelings and emotions and you put it into your work. It feels liberating in a way.
Wow, that's very beautifully put. That's exactly right. I definitely or what you just said really resonates with me because you're right. Like it can, it's a, in a way once it's brought together for better or for worse, you have the sort of the result or the artifact or whatever it is, and you can sort of look at it and go, well, okay, now I can move on from there.
Yes, sir.
Let's move on from here to your next photo. So, is life really a gift? Really? Can you make every second count? That's the whole point of the podcast. So, if you like what you've seen and you're inspired, because that really is my mission, then please give it a like, subscribe, and share.
Shooting it raw?
Yes, shooting it raw.